So let's talk about Crashouts for a minute. I'll be the one to say it. Crashouts ain't all the same, and they're not all for the same reason. Some people have them for confusing reasons, some people have them for anger reasons, some people have them for sad reasons, some people just can't handle the stress of life in general. I myself just had a crash out. I crashed out over the aspect that, not because I was mad about anything, but I'm sitting here realizing now, looking back, that everything I crashed out on was just for a really confusing reason. Like, on one hand, my crash out involved the aspect that I'm sitting here evaluating life and understanding and knowing priorities, but also at the same time, I've got probably like 5 or 6 people around me that both support me, but yet are also feeling like they're against me. Now, this isn't attacking anybody personal, it's just the aspect that I'd like to understand why the gist of people go and say one thing but do another. Like, I want them to also understand my end, but it falls under that category in life. It's like, you shouldn't have to. Like, you shouldn't have to go this far to sit down to have to explain every single detail of your life when it comes down to why you're stressed, what you're stressed about. Like, personal and private information is that for a reason. And one of the things I don't understand is that, like, yes, I understand people care, and then I understand people don't care about certain things as well. But it's just a principal aspect that, maybe rather than just assuming that, things will be okay and there's no reason you can't do it, maybe look at the aspect as, okay, well, they're saying they can't do it, okay, what's the deeper reason that they can't do it? If there's something that they don't want to say and talk about, then it should just be that. Don't try to sit there and get them to forcibly talk about anything. Like, if a person doesn't want to sit there and talk about something, it's probably for good reason. Probably because it's nobody else's business. And again, first and foremost, I'm not talking or basically, putting nobody on the spot. Like, this has been a thing that's been going on for years. Like, it doesn't have to do with specifically this crash out. It's just my situation at hand, to me, is just so confusing to try to understand that it just really makes me wonder, like, am I ever going to understand it, or is the same thing just going to keep happening? Now, I know anybody seeing this will have your own opinion and, bring anything you want to light and try to make amends or try to get the situation taken care of based off of what your own opinion. But you also got to remember, just by me talking about this, you're not getting 100% of the situation, if anybody even watches this video to this point. So that's the thing about people doing crash outs, dude. We shouldn't have to get to that point as human beings before shit gets that bad. Like, we should be talking about stuff ahead of time without stuff needing to get heated. Like, if your understanding is on such a different level from someone else, sit down and talk with them about it. Don't just sit there and just, get upset over the aspect that because what you're trying to tell them, they're, like, either denying it or say they can't do it. That's not, like, they live a different life. They have different financial outlooks and views. They have different ways of approaching the world and dealing with their own problems as is. So, it's not like you need to sit there and try to cram something down someone else's throat to get them to believe in it. Like freaking politics. I hate politics, don't like talking about it, don't want nothing to do with it, but yet every single day there's always something that grabs my attention that people try to freaking cram down your throat. Who cares? Let the person be themselves. If you don't like the way they're operating their life, don't worry about that portion of their life, or don't worry about associating with that person in general. I know this is kind of turning into not only a rant, but also like explaining this situation and, you know, allowing people to watch this and view this as the aspect that it's like your mental health is not to be played with. Like, this is something that's real, and this is something that everyone deals with. And if you don't deal with it, well, you must be hiding it really well, because I don't know how you can go life just being like, oh yeah, it's all happy and rainbows and flowers. And no, it is not possible. It is not humanly possible. A human exempts emotions. We have emotions all the time. It doesn't matter if it's anger, sadness, happiness, whatever it is. We all have those emotions, and we all go through them at some point. The crash out that I just had took me on a freaking electric bike ride to the point where I got away from home, to the point where I had to walk back because the battery died. And in that entire time frame, from both riding and the walking aspect, and the walking probably took me a better part of an hour, hour and a half. And then finally my father came and picked me up on my electric, with my electric bike being dead because the battery crapped out on me. And the reason why the battery crapped out on me is because the battery is basically junk at this point and needs to be replaced. But that also ties into the aspect that this overall thing, the reason why I crashed out, comes down to the understanding that my life is based around a really complicated situation, and it made me sit there and think of the confusing nature of this crash out, because both sides that I'm looking at this from, it's confusing due to the aspect that I'm getting mixed reactions and signals from multiple people. Like I'm not talking about just one or two. I'm getting it from 3, 4, 5, 6 people, if not more, about every single aspect of my life. And at this point, it's not that I'm mad. I'm just trying to get the understanding, because from everyone in general, they're all saying one thing, but then it's a hypocritical stance later on, because they're all saying something that contradicts the other. And it happens with everybody. And it even made me sit and realize that I'm hypocritical too. That's just a nature of life. Everything just... confusing. That's just the best way to explain it. It's just all confusing. Like, I have my financial status figured out. I don't need to prove nothing to anybody. I have all that sorted and figured out. If I want to pay for something, or if I don't want to pay for something, or if I want to save my money, or if I don't want to save my money, I have all that figured out. I don't need nobody to do that for me. Just like other people, you don't need to have someone save your money for you. Like, you don't need to sit there and hand someone cash and be like, hey, save this for me. If you're doing that, then that's just a situation you got to figure out on your own. You have to rehabilitate, and whatever you want to call it. I'm honestly probably getting words wrong at this point, just because of this is just mental health issues in a nutshell. Like, if you're having to give money to someone else for you to save, just because you know for a fact that you can't do it on your own, like, sure, it may help to a certain extent, and it may make sense, but also at the same time, think about that aspect. You're a grown adult. You have to make life work on your terms, and you can't have other people there making controlling decisions, making decisions in general, making decisions about what you should be financially doing and whatnot. Like, you're an adult. You have your own mental health issues. It just seems like sometimes people don't understand that and don't want to talk about it, but yet it gets to a point where everything is too late. Like, this all needs to stop as a society. It really does. Like, it's getting old. If you watched this whole video, thank you. I mean, if it really helps you out, I'm glad to have done that. I don't even really want any recognition off of this. I just want people to understand, you're not alone. Thank you guys for watching.